Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? How's your day? How's your mother? And all that other good shit. So today we're talking about the newest movie from Netflix, and it is simply titled Beats. And not that anybody is particularly asking, but if somebody were to ask me how I would summarize this movie in one word, I would probably use the word frustrating. And when I say that, I'm not trying to tell you guys that this is a bad movie by any stretch, but I have to tell you the first 20 minutes or the first act, roughly, of this movie were fucking amazing. And the reason why it's frustrating is because after that, it just kind of dropped the compass at some point and just started stumbling and it just lost its way. But again, I stress I would not necessarily call this a bad movie because there are quite a few admirable qualities, even if it just, meandered a bit. The basic plot of the movie, it centers around this kid from Chicago who's in high school and something really traumatic happens to him on his way home one night. And it affects him so badly that he can't leave the house because he would go into this catatonic, anxiety-ridden panic attack. So his mom has to run his assignments to and from school because he has to stay home, but while he's home, he becomes a crazy savant when it comes to music. But then, at one point, the security guard for the school, played by Anthony Anderson, kind of discovers the kid and overhears him. And then from that point on, his character tries to kind of break this kid out of his musical and emotional shell, and that's pretty much the movie from there. And the movie really does have a lot of admirable qualities to it, like, first of all, the music, because it's a movie about music, so if the music didn't work, that would kind of ruin the fun for you. But I'd say about like 90% of the music they made in the movie came out pretty well. And on top of that, the acting was pretty solid for the majority of the movie. The kid they got to play the victim actually did a pretty decent job. He was a little mumbly in the beginning, but I think that was part of his character. And also, Anthony Anderson did a great job dramatically acting, not just comedically, which I personally found pleasantly surprising because you don't see him do that much. The lady who plays Crazy Eyes from Orange is the New Black is in the movie. She's pretty good. And there's a lady in the movie whose name is Emayati Coronaldi, who I'm sure most of you have never heard of, but she is very much something to look at. Some of the smaller characters could have used a little work, but that's kind of a nitpick at this point. Like, all the core people that they had, I thought did a pretty good job. But again, after that first 30 minutes of the movie, the movie totally fell off for me. In the first half hour, they set up perfectly how this kid is just destroyed by what happens. But the movie just kind of, it tried to multitask and just tried to do a whole bunch of shit at once. If they would have stuck with the anxiety angle, kind of like, like a Finding Forrester might have, then I feel like this movie could have been awesome. But the way the kid's depression progressed in the movie, that felt really abrupt. And weirdly, the movie also stopped being funny after a little while because Anthony Anderson had a bunch of zingy little one-liners in the movie because he's just kind of a snarky dickhead. And those laugh moments happened like 5 or 6 times real quick in the movie. And I'm like, okay, I could watch another hour of this. But then that kind of disappeared. And the movie also seems hellbent on telling you that Anthony Anderson's character used to be a massive asshole. Literally, every character he comes into contact with has something to say about his past. It's really kind of overpowering. And then the traumatized kid, there's like this weird kind of love triangle thing with this girl and one of his friends, but that kind of like bounces in and out of the movie with no regularity. And there's all these side managers and other side people that Anthony Anderson tries to talk to, and some of them are just really irrelevant. And I know it sounds like I'm really trying to rag on this movie, but I'm honestly not. Like, it was still, I had a positive experience. But again, it's like I say, it's frustrating because I could tell how good this movie could have been just from the first few minutes. Because by the end of the movie, I expected to be moved in some way, shape, or form, but instead, I just kind of thought to myself, like, all right, well, I guess that was a thing. That was all right. But either way, guys, overall, I think for a score out of 10, I think I'm going to give it a 6.2. The music was still solid. The acting was still solid. Like, all the mechanics about the filmmaking were cool. Everything except for the story and the writing. But anyway, guys, those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Did you see the movie yet? Have you heard of it? Hop in the comments. Let me know what's up. And if you like this review, give me a like, subscribe, do all that other happy horse shit, and I will catch you guys later.